Welcome back everyone to Welstopia. We're back here at the site of our build where we have the shell of a sphere. And as I was thinking about this, I turned around and I noticed that the haunted mansion is very easily visible from this location. For some reason I thought it would be way out of view, way far away, but it seems that I only had that impression because where I was doing most of my earlier builds, I had the carpenter's house and the trees all blocking the way. But it's a lot closer than I thought. Something to think about when you consider the size of the base overall. I had thought it'd be so large I couldn't see that far away, but okay. Now, about this thing. My original plan was to build a sphere. A nice solid sphere going all the way around, but now I think about it, I would feel that the denizens of the ocean will prefer it to be open. That we only have the hint of a sphere. And I think this is just the hint that we'll be needing, going all the way around like this. So instead of enclosing this entire thing, we'll just leave it this way, but we will add some lighting because the lighting is what's going to make it a place that will keep out all those nasties that we certainly don't want messing up the shrine. I'm going to begin by placing lights at the centers of each of the 6 areas there, preferably without dolphins coming around and doing strange things here. Let's see. Now, this is also going to have the added benefit that if any ships do want to come in this area, I think we are 3 below the surface. So any ships with very deep drafts will then know to avoid the area because we'll have a little bit of light there. There you go. And now let's get the one to the bottom also, because while a dolphin could be indication to be annoying, I will say that a drowned would be even more so. Now let's see if we can get these sides here without getting too much trouble, and of course keeping an eye on, oh that's right, water breathing potions. Bottoms up. Ah, much better. Now, let's see what we have here. Now, we don't have to worry about drowning for the next 8 minutes. Actually, I'd prefer to do it on the inside, since that's where we have a little bit of a platform. Now, it would be nice if we had something to help us move more easily, but we'll just have to accept what we have. Ooh, that looks nice. There you go. And I think what I'll do is add a couple more around here too. How about there and there? There and there. And there, and then finally. Oh, and I suppose we want to do the same thing down here for balance and to keep the seafloor nice and lit, because an unlit seafloor is definitely going to be something that will attract nasty things all over the place. There you go. Oh, and we want, of course, have this symmetrical on all of the axes. We want these also. Good. Now this is going to be a nice amount of light that we can have. Let's see how this looks from a little bit afar. Still under the water, but yeah. Of course, we do have some places outside of the area that are going to be a little bit dark at night. Not much I'm going to have to do. Oh, got dolphins gracing us. And why am I swimming so fast? There you go. Yeah. I'll see how well I can swim through this. Yeah, a nice little area to swim through. Hey, dolphin-like! Whee! Well, okay, I can't whistle like a dolphin. That looks pretty nice from the outside. And I'm getting to like this prismarine brick, which should be no surprise really, because last season I really liked using it too. Has a really nice look to it, and I see that there is a prismarine brick or two around here that obviously must have been ejected as I was taking out the pieces. They're good, because I don't want to lose these, because they may come in use later, because now that I have this and it's done. I mean, what else is there to do with this? Because I think this is one of those cases where less is more, right? So I think adding anything else is just going to make it too busy and fouled up. So that means that we've got a little bit of extra time. What about this thing up here? Now, I did do this thing out of blue and green. I never was completely satisfied. What if I just replace this all with prismarine stuff? Use prismarine brick for the sides, and then use regular prismarine from here, and I think that would improve the look of the whole thing much, much, much. Yes, I remember that this project started when someone gave me a little bit of a gift of sand and gravel. So I thought, oh, let's do something with concrete. And as you can see here, when I get to the end of the whole thing, I'm saying, how about ditching the concrete? I'm obviously going to need to learn to get better on doing stuff related to concrete if I'm going to be just saying, all right, let's dump the original point of the entire thing and let's try something else. Well, that's the thing that happens sometimes when you do builds. You come up with an idea, you do something, and then you come up with what you hope is a better idea. Now let's see, make sure we've got this. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 is how it starts. Oh! 1, 2, 3. Oh, I'm already too high. Ha ha ha. Well then, we'll just have to get my pieces here and make sure I don't lose anything. I'm going to do one of the sides first, see how it looks. Because right now I'm thinking, oh yes, this will look a lot better, but I may change my opinion on that once I actually do it. Compare them side by side, or one way or the other, and then say, alright, is this an improvement? And if it is, then we could place the improvement everywhere else, and if not, then we could always revert. Because I at least have a pattern on what's going on in here. Now, I'm going to need... How about using planks as my... Well, that's silly. Up, up, up. Good. And I want to put this here so it's obvious that that's to go away. It's not some sort of scaffolding because we don't have real scaffolding in the game yet. Good. then to this point. 3, 4, 5. A little bit of this. 4, 5. And of course we have all of this stuff to do. Whee! Says 1. Just have to have lots of wood in here to keep that around. Just making sure I don't get rid of any of the green yet, because I want to make sure I have all this in here. Then I can do the green afterwards. Let's see, we have that there. We have this here, yes. So just do the blue first. Then once all the blue's done, we can do the green. And everything should be fine. Plot, plot. And I think this is the 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, good. That seems to take care of all of the blues, so let's take care of the green. 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2. At least that pattern's easy enough to remember. Oh, but make sure I get prismarine instead of prismarine brick for this section, because the entire idea is still to have some sort of contrast here. Alright, good. Oh, and of course this part work becomes a little bit tougher. We want to do that. Boom. Right, like that. Ah, how quickly I forget. I think I like this much better. We can just have a touch of blue added with the banner, but otherwise we have the light green slash cyan that you have with the prismarine. I think that goes reasonably well with the roof that I have on there. Yes, I like it, which means that it's time to do it all the way around. That looks much, much better, I think. Good. I think I'm going to go with that. It looks a lot better to what I was originally thinking of than what I got in the end. I know I made all the big justification, let's use concrete and all that, but I think it looks better in prismarine. I suppose that means I'll have to update that too. Yep, alright, there you go. I don't even have to go there. Yeah, I think that still looks nice. Perfect. It's interesting that the center looked a bit greenish before. Now it looks a bit bluish because we have the prismarine on the outside. Alright. I think that will all work nice. And then there is our... Let's see. I'll go there just in case to see if I need to update anything there. Because the only thing I really changed was to add a little bit of extra light. So it's probably not going to be anything significant added there. Alright. Yeah, it seems not to change what's there in the slightest. Because the lights don't work on it. Nice that we have waterproof maps here, isn't it? And the other map looks like this. That little dot down there is the shrine that we just converted. This location right here, we see virtually nothing, and we don't see much up here either. So that tells you the differences on how things look on the various scales. So it is nice that I have the blown up map down over there. You see here we have the little dot there, that's our mansion, but not much else of it. But I think that's a good place to leave off. We have finished all 3 of the shrines that I intended to build. I was thinking I'd be lucky to get one of them done by the end of the month, and I got all 3. That's pretty good. And with that, I'll need to think of another project. Probably my best bet will to finally get around to building some houses along here that can be used as the various houses of the villagers, because our villagers are going to be needing some houses. I figure if we build 1 or 2 of those to finish off the month, then maybe next month we could think perhaps about finally building the tavern. Ooh, that'll be quite a concept. But next time, let's see if we can build a house or 2. Probably smaller than this one, because we are talking about fisher folk, but something that could be appropriate for the profession. And what'll I do? We'll have to see that in the next episode of Piney Plays Minecraft Welstopia.